Hello, my friends, and welcome to Still Not Famous and another indie game devlog for my upcoming game, Survive Into Night, and one with a little bit of face on. I just want to talk to you guys for a few minutes about the game because this is the last devlog ever for the game, at least before it releases. You see, my friends, Survive Into Night releases tomorrow morning. But more than likely, by the time I've posted this video, by the time you're watching it, it's released. Like right now, you can go check it out on Steam. Surviving Tonight, and it releases with a 15% discount, so it's a good time to grab it, my friends. However, that's not the purpose of the video. The purpose of the video is to just talk about what it was like to create a game over the last year. What it's like, the feelings on launch day. It's a stressful experience, my friends. If you've ever developed a game or released a major project that you've worked very hard on for months and months and months and well over a year, you could probably relate to that feeling of anxiety that you might have as it approaches, the big day, that it comes out. So with Surviving Tonight, I haven't really published the game for a long time. I did publish a game on Steam back in 2015 called Rogue Harvest, and it did all right, although I didn't know anything about marketing or building communities or any of that back then. I was just throwing together a game, and it was arguably kind of a poor release. I didn't have a lot of functionality. It was an early access release. And with Surviving Tonight, it's a completely different thing. This is a very polished game that's been tested heavily, and it's been shared by other YouTubers and streamers, and it's been played on Twitch before the release, which is awesome. But like I said, it's been stressful, my friends. And that doesn't have to necessarily be an entirely negative thing. Some stress is good in your life. The stress that this game has brought me is, in some ways, it's kind of motivating me to do more. I really kind of stopped making games the last couple of years, and not for any bad reason. I became married. I have now 3 kids, my friends, and a wedding ring, as you can see, and a full-time job at a very great company. And with all of that, hobbies like game development are just almost unrealistic. And for the longest time, I kind of struggled as I felt that my identity as a game developer was fading away. It used to be part of who I considered myself to be, and that identity, that personality, just started to become nothing. And then about a year ago, I started working on this project, this top-down shooter, and started playing around with some of the physics and the running around, the collision detection and all that. And something happened with this project that doesn't happen with most of the projects that I start. And if you've developed games, you've probably experienced this as well. But I started playing an early prototype of my game, and I just realized it was fun. I'm like, this is fun. Like, I enjoy this. And fun is a very elusive thing in the world of games. It's very easy to design a prototype of a game and have all these ideas and then put it together, and it's just not really fun. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. But when I played the early version of this game that I built, I was just sitting there thinking, this could be a whole game. There's so many things I could do. And so the ideas just started springing out of my brain, and I found myself putting my kids down for bed. And despite the fact that it was getting late at the night and I should have gone to sleep and got some rest for work the next day, I found myself obsessively working on this game and just hundreds of ideas just pouring out ways to improve it, and I wanted to show the game off. And so I released an early build of it on itch.io, which is kind of a site for game developers to post games, kind of indie stuff, and got some good feedback there and got some other people to play it. And eventually I decided I'm going to release this game on Steam, and that's a monumental task if you've never done such a thing. For some game developers, it probably doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Maybe you've released 18 games on Steam. But for me, releasing my second game ever on Steam and now being extraordinarily busy in life, it seemed very challenging. I've poured hundreds, if not well over thousands of hours into developing this game, Surviving Tonight. And I've poured my heart into this game. I love this game. I'm obsessed with this game. I think about it every single day. It's one of the first things I think about. And I'm trying to balance that out with 3 little kids that I love and my wife. and trying to be a good employee and doing a good job at my work. But I can't deny that I fell in love with this game. And so I really hope that tomorrow, or when you're watching this at the point where the game's been released, I really hope that there are some people out there that do love the game as well. I hope, I hope that there's a little kid out there somewhere that gets to try it out. Although it's kind of a mature game, so maybe the little kids shouldn't play it. But, 13, 14-year-old, you're probably old enough to play this game. And I hope that it's kind of like what it was for me when I was growing up playing some of the games that inspired Surviving Tonight, these survival horror games. Growing up playing Parasite Eve and Silent Hill and Resident Evil and so many other games, Dead Space. Just a few on the list of many, many, many games that I fell in love with as a kid. I hope that this game reaches somebody else out there and defines their childhood. Something that, I'm not saying your childhood should be defined by a survival horror game, but for me, the memories I have playing Silent Hill on PlayStation 1 back in the day, my cousin Bobby, rest in peace, he brought me a copy of Silent Hill on the PlayStation 1 on July 3rd one year. His family was coming up to visit my family, and they brought all these barbecues, and my dad and his dad, they were like up all night literally barbecuing and doing briskets, and they were getting ready for this massive 4th of July dinner for everybody. And Bobby brought me this game, Silent Hill, and he didn't just bring it to me to borrow. He just said, "Here, I'm done with this, you can have it, enjoy it." And so I started playing Silent Hill, and I was pretty young, my friends, and what a magical experience. So anyways, kind of off on a tangent, but it's just some ramblings. I hope that somebody will find my game and fall in love with it that way, like I have. So just to kind of go back over things, Surviving Tonight is probably now available when you're watching this. I highly doubt that I've got this video edited and published before I release the game in the morning. So right now the game is available on Steam. I'll have a link to it in the description if you want to check it out. If you want to, support the game, support me as a developer, definitely check it out. But just take a look at it, and if you develop games, let me know what you're working on, or if you've ever had a similar experience. And if you don't develop games, I hope that you can relate in some way to that feeling of accomplishment for working so hard on something for so long, putting every little ounce of energy that you have into it, and then seeing it, be released or finished and put out into the world. And I hope you guys have an amazing evening or day or morning, whenever you're watching this. Let me know what you think in the comments, what kind of videos you want to see. I've kind of took this channel in a new direction as I've developed my game. So the videos have been different, but now that the game's released, I don't know if I'll keep doing indie game devlog stuff, maybe start thinking about my next project, or just go back to weird other videos. I don't know. Let me know what you guys like, what you want to see in the comments. And if you've watched this far of me rambling, I applaud you, my friends. I applaud you. I'll talk to you again. Bye.